Welcome back my dear students in the second part of our general revision تحت رعاية وإشراف وزارة التربية والتعليم. Today we are going to complete the varieties of different type of questions, which is complete. Complete the actual length of the path that a moving object takes from the starting point of movement to the end point is known as what, and it's considered as which physical quantities. Here I'm going to highlight my keywords, which are actual length. So my first answer is distance, and distance is which type of the physical quantities? Of course it's scalar. So the answer is scalar. Next question. The image always equal the object and can't be formed on the screen in which type of mirror. أنهي نوع من الميرور اللي لما بستخدمها الإيمج ما cannot be taken on screen? Only one type of mirror, which is the plane mirror. So the answer is a plane mirror. With type A, it's a virtual image. In case of the what division of the cells, no changing in the genetic traits. In which case of the cell division بيحصل فيها no changing in the genetic traits. طبعا in the which type? التايب الوحيد اللي هو الميتوزس, which help in growth and compensation without changing in the genetic traits. So the answer is mitosis. Here I have a problem, and in the problem we have to concentrate well and get your data and start to analyze the problem and then start to answer. وزي ما اتفقنا at the beginning you have to write the rule first, and then you are going to make sure من results, and then you have to put the units. First of all, we are going to read the problem. A runner covered a distance of 240 meters in 16 seconds. Then he returned back walking to the starting point in 2 minutes. يعني مشي مسافة في وقت معين and then returning back in 2 minutes. Calculate the average speed of his complete trip. So at the beginning I have to get my data and put the rule. الرول بيقول لي ايه؟ ال average speed equal total distance divided by total time. So here is the rule. طيب here how many distance the runner covered? الديستنس الأولانية قد ايه؟ 240 meters. Then return back يعني المسافة اللي مشيها forward, return it back again يعني ماشي المسافة double. So the total distance here I have 240 plus 240 رايح ورجع. Then I'm going to calculate the time اللي قطعوا في المسافة رايح جاي. هي the beginning قطع 16 second and when he returned back قطع 2 minutes. طب here أنا لازم أقف هنا عند حتة معينة. Can I count minutes مع second? Of course لا. يبقى I have to change or to convert the minutes, 2 minutes into seconds. How? 2 minutes times 2 يبقى equal 120 seconds. So a time here that's written in front of you 16 plus 120. Get منين ال 120? Because the runner covered 2 minutes و each minute فيها 60 seconds يبقى 60 times 2 equal 120, and then the answer will be 3.5 meter per second. يبقى here في ال problem دي it's tricky. Why? Because sometimes you are going to take it 2 minutes وتحسبها plus a second. طبعا wrong. يبقى you have to change the minutes first to seconds by time 60 seconds. Then you are going to make the calculation and get the answer. Next type is define. Define is the same meaning of what's meant by. Definition here for the universe. What's meant by universe? The universe is, of course, it's the space which contains galaxies, moons, planets, living organisms, and everything. What is the definition of reproduction by regeneration? أنا قلت regeneration يعني هي to compensate a missing part. يبقى it's the ability of the living organism of the missing part of living organisms to be grow and to be completed to form a parent individual جديد. يبقى it is the ability of the missing part in the individuals to compensate or to regenerate itself by asexual reproduction. Another type of question which is choose, and I said before, answer it and then choose the answer. The graphic relationship between the distance and time which represent by straight line passes by the origin. يعني هو دلوقتي بيقول لي graphic relation ووصفها لي ان هي passing by the origin و straight line passing by the origin. So which one? هي irregular speed or uniform speed or irregular acceleration ولا uniform acceleration. هنا I have to focus between ايه؟ between distance and time. و represent by straight line passing by the origin. يبقى ايه؟ It's very easy. Speed عشان distance and time و straight line passing by the origin, so it's uniform speed. The answer is number B, which is uniform speed. From the physical quantities that is enough to be identified knowing its magnitude only. مين هما اللي بنعرفهم بالmagnitude only؟ It's force. طبعا انت في الانسر كوبت انها magnitude only يعني scalar. So you are going to choose from those. مين فيهم هي السكيلر؟ Is it force or displacement, acceleration or mass? Of course the answer is mass. The formed image in an object in the concave lens at any distance is. طب هنا بيقول لي at any distance. احنا كل مرة بنقول we have to mention the distance of the object. في all the types of mirror, either في ال concave mirror and in the convex lens. But in the concave lens هي any position هحط فيه الobject. In all the cases الإيمج هتطلع لي شكل واحد هو مفيش غيره. So let's choose كده الانسر. It's formed ايه؟ The formed image in the object in the concave lens at any distance بتطلع virtual diminished or virtual enlarged or real diminished or real enlarged. Of course all of you know the only case the concave mirror بتبقى virtual concave lens is virtual and enlarged. So the answer is number B, virtual and enlarged. According to Laplace theory, in 1796, the solar system was glowing gas sphere known as a. طبعا كلنا جاوبنا إن هي known as nebula. So let's see the answers. Is it sun or planets or stars or nebula? So the answer, of course, is the nebula. The formed image of the object in the concave lens at any distance is. دايما you have to focus. هو بيتكلم عن lens ولا mirror. يبقى underline الأول أول حاجة it's lens or mirror and then underline its type عشان تقدر تحدد نوع الإيمج أي حاجة بيسألك عليها. Here أنا بتكلم على lens ونوعها إيه؟ concave. طيب الformed image in the concave lens بتبقى شكلها إيه؟ virtual diminished or virtual enlarged, real diminished or real enlarged. So the answer is virtual enlarged. It is possible to produce new plants identical to the mother plant cell by. هنا بيتكلم على plants. So الplants احنا عندنا نوع واحد بس من الاسexual reproduction. بيقول لي ازاي اعمله. طبعا هنا بيقول لي forming gametes ولا by fertilization or by budding or by tissue culture. الحالة الوحيدة اللي احنا قلنا ان احنا ممكن نعمل possible reproduction to the plants without needing the mother plants or without needing seeds هي tissue culture, which is kind of vegetative reproduction happens by the human. So the answer is tissue culture. Give reasons for. The word ambulance is written laterally inverted on the ambulance car. Why? Because the mirror of the car in front of the ambulance car will form a laterally inverted image for the word, so the driver can see it in the mirror in correct shape بتاعها, so he can read it carefully. Binary fission is considered as mitotic division. ليه الباينري fission mitotic? Because it produces living organisms identical to the parent cell and having the same number of chromosomes. يبقى لازم أفوكس إن في كل أنواع الأسexual reproduction لما يسألني عليها ليه هي it happens by mitotic. So الأنسر لازم يكون له two parts. Number one, because it gives the new individuals identical to the parent cell and with the same number of the chromosomes of the parent cell. Another kind of question which is right scientific term. The speed of a moving object relative to a standing of a moving observer. طبعا هنا very easy لقيت كلمة relative to, so the speed here, it's which type of speed? It's a relative speed. The answer is relative speed. A spherical mirror, its shining surface is a part of the outer surface of the sphere. The outer surface احنا كلنا عارفين يبقى which one? It's the convex mirror. Millions of the stars arranged in distinctive shapes. يبقى الأنسر is what? Is the galaxy. Special organs for reproduction in algae and fungi. ايه الاورجن ريسبونسبل عن الريبرودكشن في الالجي اند فانجاي؟ هو طبعا مش اورجن، هي بارت من البلانت، ما نعتبروش اورجن، هي بارت منه لان هو بريميتيف بلانت. البارت ده بنسميه سبورانجيا. سبورانجيا coming from the word spores اللي بتطلع منها من السبورز. When do the following happen؟ امتى ده بيحصل؟ Passing of light ray through a lens without refraction. امتى اللايت راي بيمر في اللينس without refraction؟ في حالة واحدة بس، which is when it passes by the optical center. Of course, right. يبقى when it passes by the optical center. When it happens, the moving of an object with a negative uniform acceleration. امتى البادي نقول عليه بيمشي بنيجاتيف ويونيفورم acceleration with negative uniform في نفس الوقت؟ لما بيعمل ايه السبيد بتاعته؟ يبقى لما السبيد طالما قلت نيجاتيف يبقى اكيد السبيد بتديكريز، يبقى when the speed decreases by، وعشان انفذ كلمه يونيفورم لازم اقول الديكريزنج by equal values at equal period of time. يبقى هنا البارت ده بيسالني على حاجتين at the same question. امتى البادي بيموف with negative بس مش which type of negative؟ uniform acceleration. يبقى negative هقول decreasing the speed. ازاي decreasing؟ by equal speed, equal values at equal period of time. A real equal image of an object is formed in the mirror. When it happens, if the object is placed at the center of curvature. الحالة الوحيدة اللي بيجي الأوبجكت بيبقى equal بالظبط في السايز to the object when the object will be on the center of the curvature of the mirror. What is the name of each living organisms and mention the type of asexual reproduction in it. اديني figure وطالب مني اقول النيم and then the type of asexual reproduction. Here the figure النيم بتاع living organism طبعا دي it's the mushroom, you know it all of you. living organism is the mushroom. طيب what type of asexual reproduction happens in this living organism? It reproduces by which type? It's by spore propagation. What is the name of this living organisms? Of course, it's the yeast fungus. نوع من الفنجس اسمه yeast fungus. طب what type of asexual reproduction بيحصل فيه؟ It reproduces by budding. وهير انتوا شايفين ان في bud formation هي start to form، يبقى it reproduces by budding. Next type of question. Here مديني in the opposite graph represent the movement of a car from rest point. Study the graph and answer. هنا في car ماشية ورسم لي الجراف بتاع الموفمنت of the car and the car starting from rest. What's meant by rest؟ يعني الانيشال سبيد بتاعتها equal 0. So بيسألني هنا moving with uniform acceleration is represented by the straight line. أنهي شيب من اللترز اللي قدامي بيريبريزنت الموفمنت with uniform acceleration؟ يعني uniform acceleration يعني بزود أو بنقص سرعة بس بطريقة regular، بطريقة uniform. طب here look to the graph هنلاقي إن البادي moving from A to B بي speed up بي increase السبيد بتاعته but uniform علشان هنا ماشية straight line passing by the origin. So here I can say that from A to B it's a type of uniform acceleration. وكمان عندي part تاني from C to D it's a uniform acceleration but which type? It's by decreasing يعني deceleration. الكويستشن ده مهم جدا لان احنا بنفوكس بنبقى متخيلين ان احنا بندور بس على increasing in the acceleration. لا هو بيقول لي in which part the body move with uniform. اليونيفورم تحتمل decreasing and تحتمل increasing. So when the body move here في الجراف من A to B he's moving with uniform acceleration positive. And from C to D he's moving with uniform acceleration by negative. So in two cases is uniform acceleration. The second question on this graph, calculate the acceleration of the car during its movement from the point B to the point C. Look to the graph here from point B to C. Somebody view يقول لي ان انا طب انا I can analyze the graph ولقيت هنا straight line parallel to the axis والجراف between speed and time وده parallel يبقى zero speed. Of course it's right. Very well. But عشان أنا أconfirm my answer وأطلع صح هي صح zero speed. But if I want to get it with a calculation, let's start together ونشوف بالcalculations. Here in the point B لو نجينا نبص على السبيد in the point B on the graph هنلاقي البادي السبيد بتاعته الانيشال سبيد 20 اوكي وin the point C فضلت برضو 20 يعني الفاينل سبيد والانيشال سبيد both are 20 اوكي طيب والتايم تيكن هير يبقى هير اما ابص على الانسر يبقى لما الاقي V2 minus V1 هي 20 minus 20 والتايم taken in each period of time هو عند point A B بدأ في 10 minutes and the point C انتهى عند 20 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds or 20 seconds. So I'm going to get the difference between them. يبقى أما أجي أكتبها as a rule V2 minus V1 divided T2 minus T1. So the answer here is 20 minus 20 divided 10 minus 10 equal 0. يبقى you can solve it by the look to the graph وتقول لي zero acceleration because it's parallel to the x-axis, or you can solve it as a problem from the graph and in the two cases the answer is 0. Next question is comparison. Compare between the short-sightedness and the long-sightedness concerning to the radius of the eyeball. Of course in the short-sightedness بيحصل ايه للradius of the eyeball? It's increasing. While in the case of the long-sightedness بيحصل له decreasing. طيب what about the next comparison between amoeba and yeast fungus concerning to the here we are going to complete in the short and long sightedness the type of lens that is used. Here in the first case we use concave lens and in the next case we are going to use convex lens. Next question, what is the importance of the following? What is the importance of the attraction force of the sun? الاتراكشن فورس اللي بتعملها الصن للبلانيتس ايه الامبورتنس بتاعتها اللي احنا بنسميها الجرافيتي هي بتعمل ايه بتكيب ذا بلانيت ريفولفينج اراوند ذا صن without it كل البلانيتس هتليف its orbit and scattered in the space وما يبقاش فيه عندنا سيستم اللي هو السولار سيستم بتاعنا يبقى so it keeps the planets revolving around the sun. The nucleic acid in the chromosome structure ايه اهميه الامبورتنس بتاعته؟ course النيوكليك اسيد ده الجيناتيك ماتيريال سو بيعمل ايه it carries the genetic information of the living organisms either the eye color the hair color the thin the tall and so on بيحمل الجيناتيك information. What is the importance of the answer in the following plants? ايه اهميه الانسر؟ الانسر ده is the one of the reproductive systems بيعمل ايه هو ميل ولا فيميل it's the male reproductive system in the flower so الامبورتنس بتاعته لما هو الميل reproductive organ بيبروديوس الميل gametes which is البولين grain. يبقى الفانكشن بتاعته أو الامبورتنس it produces أو forming البولين grains in the flowering plants. Let's move to the next one of the questions, which is choose the correct answer. Which one of those considers a vector physical quantity? Vector يعني لها direction and magnitude. Let's كده choose mass and force, displacement and acceleration, or radius and distance, or force and time. مين فيهم الفيكتور؟ ولازم I have to focus إن لازم الاثنين يبقوا vector because they are together. So the answer is displacement and acceleration. The object image that forms behind the plane mirror is always A. نوعها إيه؟ طبعا أنتوا أكيد all of you answer it. الكايند بتاع الإيمج. But let's see the choices. It is virtual, magnified and erect. It's real, diminished and inverted, or real, equal to the body and reversed, or virtual, equal to the body and erect. طبعا at the beginning انت you answer وكلنا عارفين in the plane mirror شكل الايمج بتبقى ايه؟ بتبقى equal in size وبتبقى virtual وبتبقى كمان laterally inverted وكل ده. So we are going to choose which one. Of course we choose the last choice, which is number D. The image is virtual, equal to the body and erect. The scientist who established the modern theory of the origin of the solar system, mean scientist, طبعا all of you answer it. He is mean Fred Hoyle or Laplace or Moulton or Newton. So he's Fred Hoyle. هو صاحب فكرة أو الثيوري بتاعت المودرن theory. Chromosomes is chemically consist of nucleic acid and protein. طيب احنا قلنا قبل كده ان الكروموزومز لها structure and chemical structure. If you ask me على الستراكشر بس يبقى هو عايز الكروماتيدز and centrosomes. طيب if you add the word chemical structure يبقى بيتكون على contents inside it which is the nucleic acid. طب النيوكليك acid اسمه ايه؟ DNA. طب let's see the choices. Here I have HNO3, H2SO4, DNA or HCl. All of them are chemicals but are not related to us. So I'm going to choose only the DNA, which is the chemical structure of the chromosome. Here I have a problem. A runner covers a distance 50 meters by running within a time which is 5 seconds. And then he returned to the starting point walking within 2 seconds. Calculate the average speed of the racer. هنا I have 2 distances and 2 times ولا عندي 1 distance. هو هنا أنا عندي officially 2 distance but إزاي؟ هو الريسر covered distance 50 meter by running and then he started to return back walking. أول حاجة بيسألني how can I calculate its speed while running. While running, here I have the distance 50 meters and in which time? In 5 seconds. So I have to get the rule distance over time 50 divided 5. So the speed here is 10 meters per second. دي while running. طيب عايز تسألني كمان question while returning back وهو راجع walking قطع distance قد ايه؟ قطع the same distance لأنه هو return back the same distance اللي جريها هو returned back. Sometimes هتيجي تقول لي طب هو مش مديني distance. لا here you have the distance which is also 50 meter بس he returned back walking 50 meter but in which seconds? In 20 seconds. So 50 divided 20 equal 2.5 meter per second. Another type of question which is complete the following statement. When the object speed decreases by passing time, then it moves at which type of acceleration? طبعا هنا أنا عندي الكيورد بتاعي اللي هو decreases by passing time, speed و decreases by passing time. So which type of acceleration? طبعا it's negative acceleration. The answer is negative acceleration. If the focal length of the convex mirror is 10 centimeter. Then its radius of curvature of its reflecting surface equal كام؟ طبعا you have to think about the rule. Rule is radius of curvature equal double the focal length. Here if the focal length is 10, so 10 times 2 يبقى radius of curvature is 20 centimeter. Distance in space is measured by which unit؟ عندي unit مهمة جدا. طبعا distance في space is measured, cannot be measured by kilometer or hour or whatever. لها a certain measurement which is called light year, ودي بنستخدمها بس في السبيس. So the answer is the light year. Last question in the complete. The which division occurred in the liver cell? الليفر cell دي تعتبر نوع من somatic cells. So which type of division happens in it? It's mitosis or mitotic division. So the answer is mitosis. Here we reached the last part in our general revision. So I hope to enjoy it and you are going to study well in your vacation, and see you next time and goodbye.